job and has earned 2 incentive trips and is set to go all the way to Nation by summer. So let's have
Scott's added that time scale in there. So, okay, so network marketing professional Eric Worre is notorious for, and he's been mentioned a lot today, and there's a reason for that. Because he is the absolute legend of this network marketing profession. And he's notorious for saying it's a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now, if you listen to him for very long, you know without a doubt he has a deep-rooted belief in this profession. His enthusiasm for this profession is contagious and attracts so many people into this business. And isn't that what you want too? So it's going to be difficult to recruit people into this business if you do not have a strong and powerful belief in this industry. At a recent event, I had the opportunity to hear lots of $1 million per year earners speaking about success in the network marketing profession. And as I listened to each of them speak, they each shared, and Sarah was one of those, by the way, they each shared that they do have belief in this industry, and the power to believe in this industry came before they got to the top level. So today I want to share my thoughts on having an unwavering belief in network marketing, as it is vital for your success. But if you do not currently have a strong belief, it's down to you now to develop that. You want to demonstrate extreme confidence in what you're offering to your prospects. You really, truly need to believe. So I'd like you to stand up if you are a network marketing professional. Yeah. Brilliant. Now stay standing if you woke up one morning and thought, I want to be a network marketing professional. Okay, so there's not many of us, absolutely. So to get into this industry, somebody told you about it, someone shared their belief, and you decided to make an intelligent decision to say yes. They say the number one reason that people join the network marketing industry is that somebody asks them. And the number one reason that people don't is because people don't ask them. So it's our job as network marketing professionals to get out there and share this incredible industry and ask people to join our businesses. So my job today is not to convince you of anything, but rather influence you to truly understand how professional this vehicle is and how it can radically change our lives. So who wants a better sense of purpose in life, sense of fulfillment, the lifestyle of your dreams, and be financially and time rich? I'm sure we all want that in the room. You have to believe with unwavering belief that this is the vehicle to assist all of the people that you serve and yourself in achieving your dreams. So my name is Tessa Hawes. I'm an independent consultant and Regional Vice President with Arbonne International. So for those of you that don't know my story, my background actually isn't in network marketing at all. I've actually been building a very successful career in the city for the last 22 years. I know I don't look old enough, it's the RE9. But actually my background is actually advising corporate clients on pension schemes and investments, so worlds apart from health and wellness where Arbonne sits. I've always absolutely adored my career in the city. I've loved the social side that goes with it. I've loved the income I've been able to create, which has generated an amazing lifestyle for myself and my family. But 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, my son Oscar was born, and when I went back to the city, I found that although I had my money and my lifestyle back, I had one thing I was very short of, and that is time. So when the incredible Georgette Smith came to actually tell me about this business opportunity, I just got this business. I just completely understood the power and what this could do. And I just jumped straight in and said yes. And then I tried the products, and I was absolutely blown away by them. So in the last 2 years, I'm so incredibly grateful I said yes to this business, because it's given me the opportunity to create a corporate income, to actually, be on 2 incentive trips with some incredible people around the Caribbean and also in New York City. But importantly, it's given me time. So I've actually went part-time in September, and this week, this business has taken on a whole new meaning for me. So my plan B with Arbonne is now becoming my plan A, because I'm currently on consultation to be made redundant at the end of the month. So unlike most people that will be kind of quite upset about being made redundant, I can't wait. And the reason for that is, actually, I'm taking control over my own life. I can now get paid with my redundancy money to get to Nation. That's why Scott's fast-tracked me from December to the summer. And actually, I'm just really, really excited. And how many people are fortunate enough to say that? So, in terms of how you can earn an income, let's just have a look at some of the ways that some of the things that people want from a perfect career. I'm not going to read these off to you, but I'll just stay silent for a minute just so you can have a look. And I'm sure you'll agree that on the left-hand side, these are things that generally people don't want. And on the right-hand side, these are things that most people do want in their lives. So let's have a look at the different ways that you can create an income that generally fall into 5 categories. You okay? Do you want to go back? Sorry. Tell you pictures of me on the slide. Okay, so we've got blue-collar workers. So these are people who perform manual labour. They can be skilled or unskilled, but generally they're people that make things, fix things, service something or someone. So do you think that industry can actually deliver on the perfect career? I don't think it can, because even if somebody is passionate about their trade, it still doesn't give them enough income to actually live the life of their dreams. Then there are white-collar workers. So white-collar workers perform professional, managerial or administrative work, so typically in an office, employed by someone else, and then that's long been viewed as the securest way to generate an income. It was thought that actually if you're loyal to a company, then they'll be loyal to you. Times have changed. I know that. So with white-collar workers, there are 2 types of people. There's achievers, which are motivated, ambitious, energetic, and they want to move up in the corporate world. They've got great attributes, but actually what happens is, and I know this, because actually when you move up the ladder, there's only so many positions at the top. And therefore getting to the top positions isn't just about your skill, or your ambition, or your desire to exceed. It comes down to politics. And that's not often a nice place to be. Also, you've got hiders that work in offices. These are people that come in at 9, they leave at 5, they have their hour for lunch, they don't do anything wrong, they do enough just to kind of keep their head above water. But I can tell you now that in the new economy, it's becoming much more difficult to hide. So does that deliver on the perfect career list? No. Okay, so the next thing is salespeople. So paid on their accomplishments. So when they become successful at sales, you actually generate a certain level of lifestyle. And what happens is then competitors come in, commission structures get moved, and all of a sudden, to maintain that lifestyle, you might have to increase your hours from 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 hours. And yes, you've got the income, but have you got the time to spend it? So does that deliver on the perfect career? No. And then you have business owners. So business owners, she's a business owner, did you tell? So business owners, they're calling the shots and they are creating their dreams. But they've had to borrow money or spend their life savings in order to create that business. Now, instead of doing things they're really good at, they're actually the jack of all trades, because they're the people that are doing organising the printing, putting the bins out and doing the selling, plus dealing with employees. And they also get paid last. So when everybody's paid out, they have what's left at the end of the day. So most business owners are actually grateful if they get to 5 years and actually broken even, let alone creating a business that pays you, an incredible income. So does that deliver on our perfect career list? No, it doesn't. And then you have investors, and it takes money to earn a living from a return on your investment. So you also need to have knowledge and skill, and it does take risks. So the higher the level of the risk, often the greater the return, but equally the greater the loss as well. So you don't have control over being an investor, and things can change overnight. So does that deliver on our perfect career list? No, it doesn't. So we've talked about our perfect career list and the traditional ways that you can create an income. So is the perfect career even possible, we ask ourselves? Well, the answer is yes, but you need to understand that everything is changing. And the old compensation models are changing, and we're going through the biggest economic shift in our lifetimes. The world is changing, and we need to recognise it and understand it and move with the times. So in the last 100 years, we've seen the rise of the corporation, And what that basically means is that actually the safest place for people to hang out is actually at work and in an office and being employed as employees. And it was thought that the best thing to do was go to school, obviously work hard, pass exams, and go and get a job. Stay in that job for 40 years until you retire. But in recent decades, people began to realise that loyalty was not given in return. So a different process occurred, and we now switch companies every 3 to 5 years. So we build up less than sufficient income or pensions along the way, meaning that the transition into retirement is not as smooth as it has been before. And there are also a lot less jobs around as well. Now, if I think about my entry into the city, for example, because that's all I know, I started in the city at 16 as an office junior. That meant I made the teas, I kind of gave out the post, I did some photocopying. I then got promoted to a telecommunications assistant. So I sent faxes. And for all the young people in the room, that's how we communicated before email. Then I became a secretary, and actually, but all of those bottom rung jobs now have disappeared completely because we've got tea machines and we don't have any paper, and everybody sends emails, so nobody has a secretary. So what it actually means is the entry point is a lot higher in every company out there. So people aren't leaving at the top because they can't afford to retire. There's less promotion and less movement in the workplace. There's less opportunity to get into a business in the first place. And there's 70 graduates applying for every one position within the big corporate organisations. So it's really tough out there for a job market. So this kind of transition of go to school, get a job and then retire, it's not around anymore. So we have to kind of move with the times. There's also, so the demand for jobs is huge, and there's a heavy shift as well to performance economy. So it started already, and in years to come, you won't be paid for your time, you'll be paid for your performance. So this model is coming in every industry, and from waiting staff all the way up to boardroom executives. So I'm an absolute example of this. So what's happened is I've been in my corporate job for almost 9 years now with the same company, and I know that I've got a large basic salary. I've also got an amazing bonus structure. But I also know there's lots of people that will come in and do the job for a lot cheaper than I will. So what's happening is there's been restructures and basic salaries are coming down, but then there's a performance structure that's actually put around that. So companies are winning because actually everyone's fighting for the positions, and actually if people do achieve their targets and they hit their numbers, then the company will pay out. But if they don't, then they don't. So people work harder and the companies are having to pay out less. So times have changed. So there's more people competing for fewer jobs, and the rise in technology and efficiencies has meant that we need a lot less people. And we are not going back. Technologies and efficiencies are eliminating jobs day by day, and this is happening in every economy. So we need to open our eyes to the new economy and ensure that we are well placed to change when necessary. So here are some examples. So Blockbusters, who remembers Blockbusters? Yeah, okay, so for those of you that don't, they're too young in the room, technology has changed everything here, because you used to have to go out on a Sunday night, put your tracksuit on or over, go down to and hire a video. You might have even got two, and then you'd be fined because you wouldn't have taken it back by Tuesday. I mean, times have changed. So Blockbusters shut their doors, and actually that business is no longer around, because now we can sit in the comfort of our own home, press a button on the TV, and the film comes on. We can stop it, start it, re-watch it. Are we going back to those days? No, we're not. Technologies and efficiencies have changed everything. We can look at Uber, so a taxi company. I mean, we've got, in most of the major cities in the UK, a new company has come on board called Uber, so that you can basically use your mobile phone to order a taxi. It then finds you via GPS. You then actually jump in that taxi. You can order even which car you would like. You then jump in that taxi. It uses GPS to take you home. So actually, the black cab drivers, and I mean the colour of the cab, not the colour of the taxi driver, but the black cab drivers, they're actually up in arms, absolutely up in arms, because they've trained for years, like trying to find their way around the City of London, and actually these companies come in with their high technology, and they've decided to undercut the black taxi drivers. But are we going back? No, we're not. Technology and efficiencies have changed that. And it's the same with offshoring. Big companies are now offshoring lots of their products and services, lots of their kind of administration and things like that, because if you can pay a fraction of the price for somebody in another country to actually deliver the same service, then why would you pay more here? So are we going back? No, we're not. And online and digital networking and marketing has changed the way we communicate with each other. It has changed the way we live. And actually, are we going back to, are we going back? No, we're not. So if we look at this in the context of network marketing, it's one of the biggest grossing industries in the world. And it's now being used more and more to share products and services because it's efficient, it's low cost to companies, and word of mouth advertising continues to work better than any other form of advertising. Therefore, we're in an industry that's actually leading from the front. It's forward-thinking, efficient and profitable. And most industries or ideas that are new, they go through a period of transition. So for a number of years, whilst lots of these things might have kind of been viewed as weird or strange, people were just unsure. But now it's just the norm. And the exciting thing is that we're at the tipping point there with network marketing as well. So very soon, it's going to be the norm. This industry is set to explode. It's so exciting. But there is a catch. There is a catch at the moment to network marketing, and Scott's spoken a little bit about this as well, so I'm not going to go over all the bits that Scott spoke about. But what you have to do in this industry is actually kind of, be quite hardened to it and accept that there's going to be a temporary loss of social esteem, because people won't understand this. So you are seeing the future before it happens. You are taking action. You are the smart one. So you need to overcome some of these objections. And the common ones are on the slides here, which I know Scott picked up on earlier. So I don't know, so I'm going to skip that bit. Okay, so some people actually say, does this work? And unfortunately, that is what goes through the minds of some people that join this business. But some people join and they think, actually, I know 5 people, they'll all say yes, I'll get lucky, sit back, wait for the money to roll in, the Mercedes to drop on the drive, and that's just not how this business works at all. But there are people that don't learn the ropes, they fail and they screw up some of their relationships along the way. They then have the opinion that this business doesn't work, and they tell others the same. They tell others that it's only the people at the top that actually get paid. But we actually know that's not true, because network marketing pays out millions of pounds of commission on product referrals. And in 2014, 100 million people were involved in network marketing. And in 10 years' time, it's estimated to be 10 times that number. So in 10 years' time, it won't be who do you work for, it's going to be who do you network for. And compared to any other industries, we can see here, network marketing pays out the most. Eric Worre said in Manchester earlier on in the year that $200 million of commission is paid out every day. 1% of that goes to the $1 million earners, 8% to the $100 earners, and 90% of that goes to everyone else. That's $200 million a day. These numbers are phenomenal, and in actual fact, after that conference, Executive National Vice President Sarah Dunning actually shared a WhatsApp message with the VP group and said, and I did ask her if I could share this, and she said absolutely, her next goal is to earn £100,000 per month to pave the way and show us all what's possible. Let's think about that, $100,000 a month, that's £1.2 million a year. Fair play to you, Sarah. That's very great. For those that don't know, Sarah was a dancer for many years, and whilst touring she sustained an injury, which then meant that she went on to teaching and was introduced to Arbonne then. So she started her Arbonne business while she was running a 70-hour-per-week teaching job. And 7.5 years later, she's now a 4-wide national vice president because she actually stuck to the business, she learnt the trade, and has grown an incredible organisation. One of the people that joined her team, Executive National Vice President Scott Campbell, also is a successful network marketing professional, as we can see he shared his skills today. But he was committed as well to learning the skills, and he's not from a network marketing or health and wellness background. Part of Scott's dream team, the fabulous Executive Regional Vice President, soon to be Nation, Kate Bentley, comes from a legal background, so a criminal defence barrister, who then decided that the legal profession didn't actually deliver on what she hoped it would. So you can see that you can come into this business and from any background or any profession and actually really make this work. So that's just 3 people out of hundreds, that I could mention, that are actually making this business work, and lots of who are in this very room. So we're extremely lucky to have all of these mentors training us today and encouraging us to run our businesses in the correct way. So one of the best parts of network marketing is you do get to choose your business partners. So what I would, and also outside of these 4 walls, network marketing, otherwise known as direct selling and multi-level marketing, is massive. So let's look at some stats. How do I hear this? Oh, there's no sound. La 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 la. It's a really cool tune to this. to give you a phone. Okay, so it's a phenomenal industry, and one thing you need to think about is it's not actually an overnight success, and that's really important to understand. Because actually, I know this, you've all probably seen this slide, this example before, but it's really powerful. And we've spoken about the compound effect of this business. And if you were offered £1 million for a penny that doubled every day for 30 days, which would you pick? I mean, the millions pounds seems very, you want to, the appetite would be to go for the £1 million. But actually, if you took the penny that doubled every day for 30 days, by the end of that 30-day period, your money would actually be worth 5.368 million. So it just goes to show that actually, the same goes to show this Arbonne business. You need to take little steps every day to grow your business and remain consistent with your activity. And the results compared to the time that you put in at the start will be small. So if these days represented weeks in your Arbonne business, you can see that on week 16, you may not be overwhelmed by your income. But this is where your mindset needs to move from a coin slot mentality, where you work an hour and get paid an hour, to an entrepreneur. So you need to invest time up front before you get the returns. You cannot fail in this business unless you quit. You need to learn the skills, get into activity and continue to drive your business to the top. It may take 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but it will happen. And you need to trust in the process and get to work. This business works if you do. The game has changed in recent times, and we now have the power of social media and social networks. That's the beauty of this, the unlimited compensation plan and your online social network. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's simple and worth it. You've hundreds, if not thousands of people watching you every day, and these people are your friends, and therefore you are already connected to potential clients and business partners, and the power of an unlimited audience with an unlimited potential to earn. Who is excited about that? So do we have the perfect career in network marketing? I truly believe we do. I defy anyone to try and find me an industry that ticks more of the boxes in the things that you do want column than network marketing does. So think of all the people that you know who are in blue collar, white collar, salespeople, business owners and investors. They need to hear about this business so that they too can make an intelligent decision to say yes, just like you did. And 5 years from today, people will look at you and say that you are so successful because you got in 2016 or before. You don't want them to say, why didn't you tell me? This is a 5-year plan. If you stick to it, you will achieve the lifestyle of your dreams. But one thing you must have in order to get there is an unwavering belief in this groundbreaking, forward-thinking, revolutionary industry and profession that is network marketing. Now, I've just got a very quick story to share with you before I finish, and I'll just Scott's trying to drag me off over line. However, I've got a quick story just to share with you before I go, and it's about 5 frogs. Anyone that knows me knows I'm petrified of frogs, so this is a feel the fear and do it anyway slide. So 5 frogs actually are living in a village just at the bottom, just next to a lake at the bottom of a big mountain, and every year they have this challenge to say, okay, let's see who can get to the top of the mountain. Nobody ever makes it. So this one particular year, these 5 frogs felt quite brave. They went up to the start line and off they went. But the whole crowd, the village, was standing behind them saying, don't do it, you'll never get to the top, turn back, it's not great for you, don't you care what your friends and family think? Anyway, they kept topping and they kept moving up that mountain. And the first frog decided, actually, you could hear what everyone was saying, I'll just go back and join the crowd. The other 4 frogs carried on, and everyone was thinking, this teeny weeny little frog at the end, he's in real danger. Turn back, it's never going to work, you're never going to get to the top of that mountain. And actually, quite quickly, frog 2, 3 and 4 also decided to hop back to the crowd. But the little frog carried on going and took tiny little steps. But the clouds came over, everyone kind of lost sight of the frog, and they thought, oh dear, that's the end of him, told you so. Then all of a sudden, the clouds parted, the sun shone through, and they could see the little tiny frog at the top of the mountain. They all had good eyesight, by the way. And then they were all cheering, saying, well done, fantastic, phenomenal, we knew you could do it, that's absolutely amazing. And as he was coming down the mountain, they all turned to his mum and they said, why do you think he got to the top of the mountain when nobody else ever has? And she turned around and said, my son is deaf and blind. So the moral to that story is, don't listen to the crowd, don't let people sway you off of your track. Literally stick to, and don't also look at the big mountain ahead of you. Take baby steps every day. And in your journey, if at any time you hesitate for a moment, just remember that story of the little tiny frog. And in the words of the legend, that is Eric Borre, it's a stone cold fact, we have a better way. Now let's go and tell the world.